We have not, neither have we succumbed to attempts to intimidate, nor have we compromised the dignity of our film or of anybody else by going out and talking to the press. जो लोग right to privacy की बात कर रहे हैं, वही जाके press conferences कर रहे हैं.
The star needs to be more important than the character. It helps. But when you need a character to be more important than the actor, and the actor has to remain invisible, the star has to, then it becomes a liability.
Ultimately, the audience goes to the theatre for an experience, to watch a film, and they watch it because of that, and not because of the controversies around it. I don't personally believe in that, and I don't believe in raking up controversy for the sake of controversy.
Welcome to ETimes. My name is Sandesh Akte. Today we have with us the producers, the makers of Faraaz, Hansal Mehta and Anubhav Sinha. Welcome to ETimes, guys. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, firstly, you know, like आप दोनों के जो fans हैं, like the fans of your movies, they are quite excited to see you guys together for a movie. So I wanted to know from you guys, like, क्या reaction थी when, like, how was it for you, the two of you, to come on board together for a film like Faraaz? What was the initial discussion? How did the idea come around? If you all can tell.
पहले आप.
हंसल ने बोला पिक्चर बनानी है, मैंने कहा बनाओ.
अच्छा, it was that easy.
It was that simple, yeah.
Wow.
You know, we've been wanting to do. We were talking about doing something together, and there was a book on which we were writing a script.
हाँ.
And ये कहानी मेरे पास थी, so I just kept repeating the story to him.
Okay.
तोते की तरह every time कि ये भी है मेरे पास.
Yes.
So one day he said कि make this then.
अच्छा.
Make this first.
He was so passionately and urgently wanting to tell this story. And you know, as a producer, that's the best thing you can buy into.
Right.
You can buy into a man's need to tell a story.
Right. And also, so firstly, you know, like, you're both quite outspoken, you know, when it comes to like political views, or so is that like one common bonding factor between the two of you?
Outspoken है हम लोग.
No, not at all. That's a lie.
We are outspoken through our stories, through our films.
Right.
So our films
Okay,
are
so yeah, maybe that, yeah.
our films are fearless, and that fearlessness is in the storytelling. I think we are not party spokespersons. We are not politicians. हमारा काम ही नहीं है वो.
Right.
You know, हम Twitter पे कई बार मतलब we used to do things, but that was also we were having fun on Twitter or expressing ourselves, realizing कि कुछ है नहीं. Better to tell our stories.
Right.
The way we know.
But also like the films, जो आपने कहा, like, yes, your work maybe speaks of that. So are those discussions like common between, like, आप लोग frequently discuss करते हैं ideas एक दूसरे के साथ, and that is how maybe this idea came around? Does that happen often?
Normally we do. I mean, we had always, whenever we meet, when we talk on the phone, we're talking about films. We're talking about what you're making, what you're thinking of, what should be made, what should not be made, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But this film in particular, Faraaz, did not come about like that. It was with him. He had lived with it for a long time. He had worked on it. He had been to Dhaka. He had cast. He has written the script. All of that he had done. And he was in a desperate need to tell that story. So this, and all, unfortunately, I wasn't aware of this one. Otherwise, we know of each other's stories. So if I announce a film that he knows through newspapers, he will know which film it is. अच्छा Anubhav ये बना रहा है.
Right.
So we know each other's stories that much.
Right.
We read each other's scripts also.
Yeah.
मतलब I read his scripts more than he reads mine.
Yeah, he reads like 7 to 8 drafts of my scripts.
I read all of them. He does not read even one draft.
Wow.
वो पढ़ता नहीं है, मतलब सबको सबसे पढ़वाता है.
मैं पढ़ा लिखा कम होता है.
हाँ जी.
Okay, now, but for a film like Faraaz, like, जैसे, like, did you all preempt the, you know, the issues or the controversy, or, you know, जो भी हुआ, like victims' families, you know, taking objections, did you all ये पहले से anticipation था, and that is like, does that help in, you know, planning the film better or dealing with the situation better? How did that come around, like?
नहीं मतलब it is always unexpected that आपके intentions question होते हैं. And what we have done through the year, जब से कोर्ट में hearing चल रही है, we have maintained a dignified silence on this. We have put our trust in the law, in the country's judiciary. हमने कोई press conference नहीं बुलाया, ना ही हमने इसके बारे में press statements किए हैं. There have been attempts to intimidate, there have been attempts to tell us कि ये मत करो वो मत करो. We have not, neither have we succumbed to attempts to intimidate, nor have we compromised the dignity of our film or of anybody else by going out and talking to the press. जो लोग right to privacy की बात कर रहे हैं वही जाके प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस कर रहे हैं. तो मतलब वो कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन हमारा नहीं है, वो उन लोगों का है.
Also, हमने देखा ट्रेलर it's very intriguing. Also, there are all new actors like in the film. So उसके पीछे क्या thought process था? And did you all ever think कि perhaps taking a relatively known face or some star would have helped, or was that like a conscious decision to have all new actors on board so that there's more connect with the story for the audience? What was the thought process?
That's a chicken and egg question.
So, and you needed people who are young. ये कहानी, the story is always bigger than the actor. मतलब मैं हमेशा मानता हूँ. Even if you take a star, the film is always bigger than the star. The moment you make the star bigger than the film, तो वो then it's a different kind of film. The kind of films that we are making, the film is always bigger. So उसमें you have to cast correctly. And we found that this was the best way to cast it because they were very young boys. We needed fresh faces. तो सारे लोग, मतलब there's a ensemble of nearly 50-60 people, सब नए हैं. You would have rarely seen them on screen, small screen, large screen, anywhere.
Right.
So the idea was to cast that way, to cast more, to give it, to make it feel fresh, and also not make a film that is, to tell a story within a tight budgetary framework.
Also, there are times when, for certain films, stardom will become a liability. It has become already. So much of social media presence of actors. Any film, when you cast a known actor, there are two people who exist on screen. One is the actor himself, and one is the character that he's playing.
Right.
And the idea of the actor, a great actor, is to make sure that he remains transparent. But with so much information about you and your personal life, which is so attractive, your cars, your homes, your Louis Vuittons, that it is becoming increasingly difficult for the actor to remain transparent. And then, when you're doing that Bollywood film where the star needs to be more important than the character, it helps. But when you need a character to be more important than the actor and the actor has to remain invisible, the star has to, then it becomes a liability. In a film like this, it would be a liability.
Also, Hansal sir, like जो भी अभी reports में हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं about the controversies and everything, do you think it helps in a way, because now we saw what happened with about like victims' families taking
वो controversy हमने बनाई नहीं है और ना ही हम उसमें शामिल हो रहे हैं.
Yes, no, I got and we read your tweet also about it. But do you think it helps, because what we saw with like Pathaan, what happened?
Never helps. None of these things.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity.
No, it's all nonsense. It is just there. I believe it is there to fill up space in tabloids. Ultimately, the audience goes to the theatre for an experience, to watch a film, and they watch it because of that, and not because of the controversies around it. I don't personally believe in that, and I don't believe in raking up controversy for the sake of controversy.
Right. Anubhav sir, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Higher controversy. See, now the talk about film is another piece of content. So the film is a content. Then they create content around it. They are not interested in your film. They are interested in their views and likes. And it remains at that. The film remains the film, and every story that you can weave around it is a different content, and they are not connected at all. So if there is a conversation about, let's say, a dialogue in a film, and there's a controversy about a dialogue in the film, it is that content that's talking about that dialogue. It has its own audience. And it never does historically translate into any effect on the film.
So क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे ऑडियंसेस को अबाउट द फिल्म एंड वन रीजन दे शुड कम टू द थिएटर्स टू वॉच फराज?
हम बोलते रहते हैं कि हम लोग अलग फिल्में नहीं बनाते, डिफरेंट फिल्में नहीं बनाते। यही वो फिल्में हैं जो दुनिया में जाके जो दूसरे मुल्क बनाते हैं वो जाके शोर मचाती हैं, वो लोग देखते हैं, लोग पसंद करते हैं। आई थिंक द ऑडियंस शुड ऑल्सो go watch these films in theaters. And I mean, it's our responsibility as filmmakers to tell all kinds of stories, and it's their responsibility to patronize them.
Yes. Hansal sir.
बिल्कुल वही बात.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anubhav sir. Thank you, Hansal sir.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us.